Now loading. Zero's Game Room.
Welcome to Zero's Game Room, where all things gaming takes place. Interviews, discussions, and the latest gaming news. So take a seat, get comfortable, adjust your headset, because it's game time. Here's your host, Zero.
Come on in, get yourself nice and comfortable. I see, somebody's meditating in the studio, but welcome to Zero's Game Room, this is ZGR. I am your host, Zero, and with my nice and calm co-host...
I am the Ompered.
You are the Ompered.
I am thy Ompered.
What? Thy Ompered?
I am thy Ompered.
To be or not to be?
I give thy news.
Oh, you welcome. Yes, taketh a seat and getteth comfortable. Oh, I can't do that for too long. I think I'd get annoyed.
I'm
honestly.
comfortable though.
Oh. Okay. So today we're going to talk about a couple of different things. We're going to talk about some quick news, and then we're going to get into a big, nice discussion. Typically we don't like to talk about rumors, but there is some evidence supporting certain rumors. But the first thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and I haven't seen too many people talk about it, is the fact that Final Fantasy VII, not the remake that everybody was hoping and waiting for, but just a port of Final Fantasy VII, the PS1 game, is coming to Nintendo Switch. This was confirmed by a couple of things, other than the fact that on the Nintendo YouTube page, they had a trailer called Nintendo Switch My Way, and they've been having these like little trailers of like, oh my gosh, look, we're playing in the living room and look me, and some guy is on an airplane and he's like, whoa,
you just got hit by that dragon.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry lady, I just got hit, I took a really big damage. I don't want to go off topic, Greg. Have you seen those Flex Seals? Okay, that's a lot of damage. So Final Fantasy VII is coming to Nintendo Switch. It hasn't given us an official release date, but it does say that it's coming in 2019. Like I said, it's confirmed on the Nintendo page of the UK, and it's also on the trailer in the United States of Nintendo, that Nintendo My Way, Final Fantasy VII. When it's coming, I don't know.
And it kind of looks like when you, if you ever purchase the game on the virtual console market that they have for Nintendo, like if you ever purchase Metal Slug or King of Fighters, it kind of looks like the same resolution, and it's going to be kind of boxed out, so if you're kind of mad that, why isn't it taking up the whole screen? Well, it's like that because it doesn't want to look anything stretched out, because you can change it for Metal Slug and the other games like that, but then it doesn't look nice.
That doesn't look all nice. Okay, so you can change it to fill out the screen. It's just not going to look.
Yeah, you can for those games. I'm pretty sure for Final Fantasy you're not.
I don't know.
Maybe.
And that's kind of the question I have to say. So does this only means for like the quote unquote like virtual console games? Because I'm assuming like games that you could download digitally, they fill up the screen, like Sonic Mania and stuff like that. Like that games are purposely for Switch. Those fill out fine. But when it comes to these virtual quote unquote
porting over,
right, ports of older systems into that. Okay. But yeah, I'm excited for it because I love Final Fantasy.
I just wish it was remastered, because when I look at games like that, I'm just like, man, you look ugly as sin. I can't.
That's what you said about Resident Evil 2 when we talked about Resident Evil 2.
But it looks nice, though.
Well, now it looks nice. The remaster, because
the
old one looks like sin.
Yeah. Damn it.
Fun fact, the villain of Final Fantasy X is named Sin. So you could actually say he looks like Sin.
You look ugly.
But other than that, quick news, that's something I'm personally excited for. The big news going around right now, well, there's two actually that we're going to talk about. One being PlayStation, Sony, Japan.
What you doing?
What are you doing? Well, that's actually a good question, because they're doing a lot of things. Apparently, allegedly, there's rumors going around, but I found this on Reddit thanks to a username by Boski_Wojtek on Reddit. He's basically, there was an article released in Japan, and this is a rough translation, but essentially this is what it is. Sony Japan has just registered a new patent that allows the retro compatibility of the hardware with previous consoles. It is a system to be applied in future machine. Again, this is the rough translation. And allows the CPU of the new console to be able to, quote, interpret the central unit of the previous machines. The author of the development was Mark Kearney, the architect who designed the PS4 structure, and the patent, which has been filed under number 2019-503013, briefly explains what it consists of. So instead of giving you all these numbers, there's also a picture, and I showed this to Alfred before the show, of what looks like to be a flowchart?
Yeah. So basically,
I mean, it's a flowchart. Like, look, you can see it's a flowchart.
It's ugly. That's an ugly looking pen.
But what does this mean in layman's terms?
So basically, what it means is that the PS5 is going to be able to play PS5 games.
Allegedly, again, none of this. This is the thing we have to say. Allegedly, none of this is confirmed. We're not saying PS5 is a sure thing, but I'm assuming it is, unless they go the Xbox route and they're like, let's make a PSX.
PS1. It's the first PS.
Yeah, like what they do with the
thing.
Xbox One. Yeah.
So basically, what they're saying for the PS5 is that you're going to play PS5 games, possibly PS4 games, PS3, 2, and 1. And that's really surprising because if they do that, that's going to be a strong selling point for Sony fans and for anybody from Microsoft and Nintendo to go. Because I would buy a PS5 if that's the case. But the only thing that we're talking about before we recorded was that it looks like it might have to be a disc drive for the console if you're going to be able to play old PS games. Or they might have a virtual console to say, hey Zero, do you want to buy some games on a virtual market?
I mean, it could be because, like, again, it just shows begin, and it starts with this processor ID.
Yeah.
And then it just says legacy application, ? And depending if it's a yes or a no, legacy, I'm assuming means older games, older game consoles. But we don't know if it's essentially going to be again, we're going to just call it the PS5 or whatever it's going to be called, the next generation of consoles. That kind of begs the question, well, is it going to be digital? Is it not? Is it going to be, like you said, a virtual console like the Wii had, where you could do a bunch of emulation on there, and that was what you were downloading, essentially an emulation of Super Mario 64 or whatever? Or can you actually put physical discs? Because if you can put physical discs in this thing, because I think the biggest controversy around the PS4 was how horrible the backwards compatibility it is. Because the PS3, or at least the original model, you could play PS2 games and PS1 games. You could just put the disc in and it would work. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, it was the original. It's called the piano one because it looks like a piano. But that was able to play PS3, PS2, and PS1 games. Once you jump to PS4, if you want to play any older generation console, you have to have this thing called PS Now, which is a paid service.
Oh.
So it kind of begs the question, is this just an updated of PS Now where we can play all games, or can I actually put my disc in and play old school games?
I think that could be a good marketing strategy to say, hey Sony fans, we listen to your feedback. That's all they're going to say. We listen to your feedback, and we think that the PS5 should have backwards compatibility through all the generations. I mean, if they do that, then everyone's going to be like, yes!
Give us a yes!
Yes!
This is what we wanted!
Yeah, and that'll be a great strategy, even though they go that route, or even if they just say, hey, you can play any of the old games that you had previously. And plus with the PS Classic that they had, it's not going to be a big deal just to be like, hey, just get the emulation from that console, just put it onto the PS5.
Right. Yeah. You know, I'm looking over again because I found a blog, and again, there's no detailed, but they're all like, I can show you. You people who are listening won't be able to see it. I'll be able to link everything in the description.
What the hell?
There's all these charts. Yeah. To apparently the CPU and the GPU. So it makes me think that maybe it'll be a physical, because like, essentially what it's going to be doing is going to be spoofing. It's going to be the PS whatever, PS5 is essentially the CPU is going to recognize, is this an older generation game or is this a whatever console that is going to be called? And it'll be able to play them. So again, this kind of begs the question. It sounds like it'd be a physical, but would it really need to be physical? Can it? Would they make more money? Would more people be pissed off? You know, are they gonna listen to the consumer? That's the big question.
I think if the processor is able to determine it, I think they should have a disk drive. So then that way, because rather than just buying it off the market, it would just be in the memory or whatever, the hard drive that it is, and it could just run it like that in an instant. But if the processor has to take its time, then technically it could be a disk drive. Maybe that's what they're going for.
Maybe that's what they are.
Or maybe then just might be like, well, it was a concept, but that's expensive.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. At the end of the day, this patent was, it was sent in. They have a patent for this CPU and GPU combination, so that way nobody else takes it. But this doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go this route. But if they do, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. I would buy that in a heartbeat to be able to play your old, because you play all these PS4 games and you're like, great, now I have to buy a new console and I can't play my old system. Like, there's always this moving forward,
Yeah.
but taking steps backwards. Like there's certain points where you're like, man, I wish I could play these games.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they're like super old, like NES or SNES, obviously those.
You can't put the cartridge,
You
in the
shove it
Wii.
into your Switch and be like, why you not play?
Nintendo fix.
Why can't I play a game that I bought 30 years ago on my generation? Why no? Why you hate me? You are racist.
When's the next patch for the Switch?
When's the next patch for the Switch?
For my NES?
Of course. Oh, it actually comes out, I think, February like 13th for the next NES games that are going to be released.
Oh, nice.
Okay, but in talking of all this patent, this kind of also opens up the gate for another type of discussion of new generation consoles.
Yeah.
How close or how far do you think we are from it? Or are we kind of tiptoeing around it with the Nintendo Switch?
I think the Nintendo Switch, it's like the little brother in the room. He just does his own thing. Like for the PS5 and the Xbox One, they kind of want to launch together. And I haven't really heard that much news for Xbox One, but
I haven't heard a lot from Microsoft
Yeah.
other than, quote, Xbox Live coming to Nintendo Switch, iOS, and Android. Microsoft confirms.
yeah, but that's just not a next console. So maybe they're
know.
just being secret about it. But the Switch, I want to say it's the next generation console.
So we are now in the next
nine.
generation. Yeah, he's
Yes, most
the
definitely.
pioneer.
Yep.
Taking the first step.
He's the one with the torch.
Okay, I'd be willing to back that up, only because just in past, look, it's been about 6 years since the recent console generation started. The console generation that I know, right?
I'm old.
Look, 7 if you count the Wii U, because the PS4 and the Xbox One came out in November of 2013.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that puts you into perspective. Yeah, the Wii U came out in 2012 in November. A whole year before.
No.
Right? Like, it doesn't feel that long ago that the Wii U came out and was a total failure.
Yeah.
And then, and this is going to sound sad, but even the Nintendo Switch came out in 2017. We're in 2019. It's about to be 2 years old next month.
Wow. That's scary, man. You can't stop time. Damn.
No, right? So it
Yeah.
makes you think, like, going back to previous consoles, each generation, it took about 6 to 7 years. I mean, the PS1 to the PS2, that was 1994 to the year 2000. The PS3 came out in 2006, 2005. So 6 to 7 years is on average what we get to see when it comes to next generation consoles. Now, that being said, what do you think it's going to take for other, I mean, like, look at PlayStation. They're coming up with a new patent and whatnot that hopefully can play older games. What do you think Microsoft needs to do?
You know what? I think if they're going to have that stronghold of a Thresh, they're going to have to really put in big guns. If it's going to be through first-party IPs, if they're going to have great new games that are going to be coming out just for Xbox, or just even subscription service that you don't have to pay $60 for, because that's
steep.
pretty ridiculous.
That's pretty steep.
That's a whole game that you could have got.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I was in high school, that's fine. But now it's just like, no, that's my money. No.
That's my adulting life.
Yeah.
I can't just afford this. Which kind of, no, go on. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
And, like, even with recent console releases, I think it takes about a couple years before they have their Master Edition. Like, the PS4 has a PS Pro, and the Xbox has a new version.
The Xbox One X, and then the Xbox One. No.
Xbox One S.
And then the Xbox One X.
And now rumored it's that the Switch is going to have a new model.
Right.
So my question to you is, what would you like to see in this model?
A longer battery.
Yes.
That's honestly,
yes.
honestly, I think that's the only thing I really want from the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to be honest. Before I had the Switch, I didn't think much of it, but now I think it's an amazing console. And the only downside is the battery. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm playing it on the go, not at home.
I think it would be better as the person who had played Breath of the Wild in the beginning, because my God, it's a great game. But when you're in the tall grass and stuff like that, that processor is just like choked. It's just like, no, hell no. And you're just wishing that the processor was a little bit better. That's why I got I was just super nervous about it, because I'm just like, no, like, is the Switch is it that underpowered? But once the games came out, it became more, utilizing okay.
Not only that, in docked mode, Breath of the Wild, that's actually how I was playing Breath of the Wild this morning. Yeah, I actually started it. Fun fact. I got it for Christmas.
How dare you?
I know, right? It took so long. It looks beautiful on the TV.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Holy cow. This game is pretty. This game is pretty, pretty, pretty. But yeah, I guess if I wanted something new in a new version of the Switch, I'd probably want maybe a stronger processor or a smarter processor where it uses less battery and just a bigger battery.
And I really hope they don't take out the the Joy-Cons rather than just submerging with.
Oh, I know. Like kind of how what they did for the 2DS.
Yeah.
You know, because do you think they'd go that route though? Because they've already done it for the 2DS. You know, they had a great console of the 3DS. Mm-hmm. Then they took stuff out to make it cheaper for more people to buy. Would they now, instead of taking off the Joy-Cons, it's just one iPad thing?
That would be stupid. That would be really stupid because the point, at least the marketing that what it made it seem like, is that, hey, you can play it by yourself, but if you want a friend,
here you go.
You go. Yeah. And if you take that out, then you're just like, oh, hey, dude, you got the Switch. Yeah. You want to play? Oh,
no, I got the cheap version. I got the Nintendo. I
got the new version with the better processor.
And better battery, but I gave up the Joy-Con. I don't think they'd do that.
Yeah, if they do, I'll be very disappointed. I'll be like, no, Nintendo, get your shit straight, boy.
Like I said, I did it last week with the whole Kingdom Hearts conversation.
Whoa, what was that bleep?
Well, that's what you said in the last episode. Wow. But, yeah, I know we mentioned it really quick, and I didn't think we were going to talk much about it, but I guess we could talk about it. The whole Xbox Live growing and engaging the gaming community across iOS, Android, and Switch? Question mark? Why Switch? Like, how does that going to work? Like,
yeah, like we were talking about beforehand, like, how is any modern Xbox One game gonna play on the Switch? I mean, they had it for like Doom, but like,
right? I don't think every single game. Not only that, if Xbox Live is coming to the Switch,
it's like, what? Why are you gonna?
So wait, are you gonna pay another $60 for a separate service?
My God, yeah. You're gonna have to pay for that service for whatever benefits that you're gonna get, and plus, I think they have like free games for the month. So
yeah, they do games for gold. Yeah, the only reason I know about that was because of Garrison King.
So does that mean whatever games that happen on that service have to be ported into the Switch? Or are some of the developers going to be like, oh, well, we just don't have the time and resources to put it over to the Switch?
I don't know.
That would be some bull.
I don't know. That'd be real. Yeah. I mean, I get it. You talked about this because you said, this is more of they're trying to do the whole cross-platform thing.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I just kind of wanted to mention that. But the last thing we're going to have to somehow try to squeeze in, we might go a little bit longer today. It's fine.
Okay.
You
better.
Because this is a game I know nothing about. What? I don't even remember the name. It's called something Apex? Apex Legends?
Oh my God. It's called Apex Legends.
Oh, Legends. Mm-hmm. Is it like League of Legends?
No, it's far from it. It's more beautiful than Legends.
My ears are all yours.
So
what is Apex Vertex Legion?
So Apex Legends is a battle royale game. Yes, I know.
We got another Fortnite. Look at me. I'm pred. Now I play Fortnite, but it's adult Fortnite.
No, it's far from.
Change my mind.
I'll change your mind. There's no building. There's no cartoon style. It's very polished, and granted, the publisher is EA. I know. But it's actually the company itself. I wish I put the name down, but the company did a really good job. The servers, my God, you can run everything perfect. And sometimes with these games like PUBG and Ring of Elysium, and I wish a Ring of Elysium didn't fall from grace like it did because it's from China and they want your data and stuff like that.
Oh.
But a lot of these games, the servers are crap. They're horrible and you can't play on them. It's so laggy. And whenever you see a person, you shoot them in the head. It's like, whoa, like that registered for me.
And you're saying about the other games, like, yeah.
Yeah, like it registered, but it wouldn't register for their
right,
PC.
Like a hitbox, yeah.
Yeah, but with Apex Legends, everything is so fine-tuned. Like, EA has money because they give a lot of money to those servers because anytime I hit something, I feel like I hit it. If I missed, I knew I missed because I'm the bad person. Or, man, if I hit that, I knew I did everything right to lead in the shot. It's kind of like Overwatch to where you have abilities, but it's not.
Okay, yeah, because that's where I was going to go next. I'm like, paint this picture as if I don't know anything about Legions of Apex. Because
League of Legends.
League of Legends. Yeah, no, I really don't know. I've heard a bunch of people talk about it on Reddit, and I don't know anything about it. So So I know it's a first-person shooter and it's the whole battle royale, but what makes this game different, other than like you said, the no building? But what makes this stand out? Why is everybody straying away from Fortnite and going to this game? That's the big question.
I think it's because it's a more mature theme, which it's not going to bring. It will bring some people, but that's not my main thing. It's more mature. Again, it's very polished, and it's from the creators of Titanfall and Titanfall 2. And it's just, there's many variety of weapons. Like, in some games, you just have your 5.56 ammo, 7.6 ammo, just blah, blah, blah. But they have many different types of ammos, and it's like the energy, the shotgun, and it's very colorful, and they tell you, like, hey, this is what's on the floor, this is what's there, and the heroes have many different abilities. If you choose a generic soldier shooting guy, you're not better than anything. You're just like, oh, okay, well, if I die, I die. But with this game, you have characters from different ethnicities and different cultures. So, like, the Maui guy, he's like a big buffoon guy. He's a unit, and he can drop in shields. He can call in airstrikes. You have a girl, I wish I knew where she came from, but she can just drop in health whenever she wants to. She can call in airstrikes to give you guys more loot. There's more different styles. And
so it's like you said, it's like Overwatch. Like, it's a team thing for the Battle Royale.
Yeah. And you always get paired up in threes, because sometimes you can do singles only, duos only, or squads only. This one, you're in a squad of 3 every single time.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and again, and because it's you die as a unit, and just in case you die, like, right, so you're down on the floor and you die, there's a chance that you can get revived again. If I go to your box in time, your coffin, essentially, I can get your little, like, iPhone kind of a thing, and then I can spawn you in at a certain location throughout the map.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow, this game is more in-depth than I thought it would be. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You have to play it. It's really a hit or miss game, and so when you pick it up, like, you can't wait forever to pick it up. So if you're in a dogfight, you have like 60 seconds before, I think 60 or 80 seconds before I can't revive you anymore, or pick up your cell phone, kind of like a thing. And so if you're like, damn, they're shooting me from all sides, but I got to pick up my friend Zero on the floor. Like, what do I do? So sometimes you're just like, what do I do? So you never feel like, damn, well, I died, so I'm just going to leave the lobby. Like, no, they can pick me up, and we can try to get
it's a continuation thing. Something I was going to ask is, so this is on PC, Xbox One, and PS4?
Yeah.
How much?
Free.
Okay. That's the point I wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it in? Okay, how do I say this? Is it a game?
Yes.
Where it's like,
yes, it's a game
where you have to pay to win?
There's essentially nothing to pay to win. It's all cosmetics. The only thing that I will say, though, is that out of 8 champions, quote unquote.
Okay, we can call them champions because you're comparing it to Overwatch.
Yeah, so like there's 8 champions, but 2 are locked, and the only way to unlock them is either you can pay for it, or you can just level up and you automatically get these coins to where you can purchase one. I want to say maybe I put in about 8 hours.
Okay.
And I have enough coins to unlock one yet. But you know what? I think that's fine because it's free. I didn't have to pay anything. The download size is relatively understandable. It's not like 60 gigabytes for like a Battlefield 5 game or anything like that. It's like 20 gigabytes.
Okay, that's very reasonable.
Has one map. It's very nice. And another thing. So you can drop out of an airship and stuff like that.
Oh my god, I was gonna bring that up. Dropping out of a balloon, bus, whatever. God, I hate Fortnite.
So this time you can't mess it up this time.
What do you mean?
So if you all want to go together, you could ping, hey, like I want to ping here, I ping there, and everything's by ping system. So you're like, okay, cool, let's get that. Hey, there's that, without even talking. So if you don't have a mic, you're fine. But when you're dropping on the airship, you have a designated drop leader. So when you drop on the floor, or when you drop from the airship, your other teammates, the other 2, are following you. So essentially,
you stick together. It's like a squad.
You stick together the whole time, and you can just fly whatever if you want to go back or in. And sometimes you can launch solo if you know your teammates are like, hey guys, let's go in where there's 50 people, and you're like, no, I want to live. Okay. This game actually sounds pretty interesting, and maybe something I should actually, give a shot. But you're on PC and I'm on PS4, so I'm assuming there's no crossplay yet. I want to assume right now there is no crossplay.
But assuming how popular it is, who's to say we don't see it in the future?
That's true. I think there is EA even published that at like 10 million players in 72 hours.
Wow.
Unique players.
Holy cow. Okay, well, I know what I'm doing this weekend, or what I'm going to be trying to play.
Most definitely. You should definitely try it out. It's really worth your time. I know I was just like you, man. or just like anybody else that was out there.
I don't want to jump in. I hate Fortnite. I don't know why.
Even outside of Fortnite, like I was like, man, like I'm so tired of playing battle royale games, and you will get that a little bit, but this game is really worth your time because you're not going to deal with a lot of hackers. You're not going to. I've yet to run into a hacker. This game has anti-easy cheat, and it's been working fine. And they even show like who killed you, so they're not in the sky like bah, 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 killing everybody. But the server is great. The security is great. They're not asking for any of your information like some of these. Because sometimes the Chinese investors invest into PUBG or
right.
So sometimes they're like, hey, I want your credit card information. I want to know your location. I want to know what system you're playing. I want to know what time of day. They're not asking for any of that. You just have to download the Origin, at least for PC, you have to download Origin, and it sucks. But, man, this game's worth it.
I guess I'm going to have to take a look at it, and I'll let you know what happens on the PlayStation side. But other than that, overall, you're saying it's a good thing?
It's a great thing. I really hope you try it out.
There you go. Okay. And I think with that, that's a great place. Yes, we did go 5 minutes, 6 minutes over what we usually do, but we had a lot to talk about today. And I feel like we had a pretty in-depth discussion about everything. Nothing too crazy out there. It was like, you know what? It was pretty meaty. So I hope everybody enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit us up on Twitter at Zero's Game Room. You could email us at Zero's Game Room, or you could check out the podcast on the YouTube channel, Zero's Game Room, or Facebook, Zero's Gaming Room. And for the most people who are listening to this, it's on Podbean, iTunes, it's on Google Play. We're trying to expand everywhere. Maybe one day we'll end up on Spotify, but as of right now, it's on Podbean, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play and YouTube. So feel free to check it out. But I have been Zero.
I've been Omparad.
And we will see you guys in the next episode. This episode of ZGR is officially closed. Bye. Oh, you sing now.